We gave our life, we signed the dotted line, and I did fight for what we believe in. You wake up and you're just like, I don't even want to exist, but you kind of made it here.
When I came home from my deployment, things were rocky, to say the least. It took me a while to even feel comfortable driving in traffic without stopping at every stop sign and getting out and doing a perimeter around my car.
It was a soldier's heart during the Revolutionary War. It was shell shock during World War I, combat fatigue World War II, and PTSD during the Vietnam era. But that didn't happen until like the 80s. But before that, it was the Vietnam syndrome.
I didn't really talk to people about what I was going through and, what's going on. You have to understand, your mental health, the PTSD, and be able to live with it. I mean, it doesn't just go away. Started realizing a lot of our veteran friends were coming out of the military, the ones that I served with, and I would hear their stories. They would have a hard time making a transition. So I started developing this program in my head as far as being able to train somebody, to take somebody without the specific skills in the field and train them, and within 6 months, really try to get them to like an entry-level position where they can actually make the transition.
I suffer from traumatic brain injuries. I was blown up, I've been shot at, it's hard for me to sleep. So my injuries are a lot of internal injuries that you don't see.
We generally know what ends up happening when some of our veterans don't get the help. And that's the 22 a day. That's when veterans commit suicide. A lot of these things I personally dealt with myself for over 10 years, just bouncing back and forth, bouncing in. I've had people and be like, you guys all have anger problems, but that's not the case. It's just we deal with mental health a little bit different. And that's another reason why we have so much support over here. Make sure the mental health is addressed, because that's a huge, huge component, probably one of the biggest components to make a successful transition.
Well, the way I make my connection with veterans is I come here to the shop. I hang out at Armed Services Auto Body, and we talk. And they know that I'm a doc, I'm a therapist, I'm also a combat infantryman. So with that, there are openings to the conversation about war-related trauma, issues about post-deployment, moving from the military sector into the private sector. They know that I've done that and that I've had problems with it. And so they appreciate that, and that gives me an in. And so, it's not like seeing somebody that's unrelated to the military, doesn't understand. That's one of the big things, not being understood as a veteran, and I understand.
A lot of the veterans that are here, they actually have the keys to the place, and it's kind of like their own place. If somebody's having a hard time, the shop is always here. If they need to sleep over here for whatever reason, if they're getting evicted or whatever it is. So the whole point is just to be that last line of defense for a lot of these veterans, unfortunately, because we work with a lot of veterans that do fall through the cracks. We always try to find out what their passion is, because I really believe that if they're following their passion, even when it gets hard, they're gonna push through it. They're gonna really invest in what they want to learn. I mean, we have to fix the metal before we put Bondo on it.
Here at Armed Services Auto Body, you learn trades. They took trades out of high school. We become entrepreneurs, and we get the confidence to go outside of these walls, outside of these gates, to go start our own businesses.
You saw what he did over here. You want to go a little bit around the radius.
Excellent hands-on training. He got the right people that helped me out on what I wanted to learn, and led to another person that worked at Northrop Grumman who was a recruiter, and he got me an interview, and I was able to pass with flying colors.
Right now, I feel like my mental state is at an all-time high. I have confidence that I never had, and it was lost, I can say. I don't know, I was drowning in my own depression. I was drowning in my own fears of me even stepping out the box, of even trying anymore. I was feeling let down and hurt, and I feel like with Armed Services Auto Body, it gave me a new outlook on life.
We have a lot of support built in this city with things such as our Veterans Resource Center. We have Coffee for Vets. Get together on Tuesday morning, and you're able to engage in just a very casual, informal environment, a discussion about what your problem is, what you need to see solved, what you need to fix for somebody else. That's an amazing resource. You solve a lot of problems over coffee, let me tell you.
We call her Captain Marvel because she just got promoted to captain. She flies C-130 Hercules. Coffee for Vets began a decade ago when it came to mind that veterans were passing one another in stores and grocery stores. We would see that we were wearing our veteran hat, but we didn't know one another. We were just passing each other. And I thought, wow, that's like so unremarkable. We should at least say hello and get to meet one another.
Coffee for Vets program is very special. It is all about the camaraderie. This restaurant opens at 6 a.m. There are veterans that are sitting in this parking lot, sometimes 5, sometimes 4:30, because this is their, I call it fix for the week, that they can come in, meet their friends, have a good meal over a hot cup of coffee.
It really is a way to bring friends together. And if you don't have any friends, you make friends really quick here.
Hearing the noise level is just amazing when you're having all of the different types of branches of military that are actually talking and sharing stories. So it's awesome for me.
We are a hub of information in the Antelope Valley for veterans. The VA is here. State of California's representative is here. State Senator, State Assembly. Our Congressman's office is here.
It's unique because it's a place to be welcomed and it's a place to be transparent and you're accepted just the way that you are. You want to talk, you don't want to talk. Either way, I'm going to greet you with a smile and give you a coffee. There's been days that I don't want to get up and I don't have a reason to get up. And if I know that I have to come to Coffee for Vets or somebody says, hey, good to see you, I want to see that face again.